Kamen Rider Geats. Kamen Rider Geats is the central figure in the Japanese tokusatsu series of the same name. The series is the 33rd entry in Toei Company's long-running Kamen Rider franchise and the fourth installment in the Reiwa era. The series draws inspiration from popular media such as Netflix's Squid Game, the manga Kaiji, and the Hunger Games franchise. The protagonist, Ace Yukio, is a famous celebrity who participates in the Desire Grand Prix, a mysterious survival game where players transform into Kamen Riders to battle for the chance to have their ideal world realized. Throughout the series, Ace consistently emerges victorious in the DGP, showcasing not only his combat prowess but also his strategic acumen. Ace's transformation into Kamen Rider Geats grants him access to various forms, each with unique abilities. Notably, his boost form enhances his speed and agility, while the Magnum form increases his firepower. These forms are accessed through the use of special devices called raised buckles, which he equips using the Desire Driver. As the series progresses, Ace uncovers the truth behind the DGP and its manipulative organizers. In a climactic turn of events, he gains the power of the creation goddess, allowing him to rewrite reality itself. With this newfound power, Ace erases the corrupt DGP from existence, effectively ending the cycle of manipulation and granting freedom to its participants. Ace's journey from a game participant to a being capable of altering reality positions him as one of the most powerful figures in the Kamen Rider universe. His actions not only dismantle a corrupt system, but also redefine the boundaries of power within the franchise, elevating him to a near-godlike status in the realm of fiction. Odin. Odin Gorson, known as the Allfather, is a central figure in Marvel Comics and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, adapted from Norse mythology. He is portrayed as the King of Asgard, father to Thor and Hela, and adoptive father to Loki. Odin is revered not only for his immense power, but also for his wisdom and leadership across the 9 realms. In the comics, Odin's power is augmented by the Odin Force, a mystical energy that grants him abilities such as magic manipulation, weather control, and interdimensional teleportation. This force is so potent that it requires Odin to enter the Odin sleep periodically to replenish his strength, during which he remains vulnerable yet aware of events across the universe. He, along with his brothers Vili and Vi, defeated the primordial frost giant Ymir, using Ymir's body to create the heavens and earth. This act of creation established the foundation of the 9 realms. Odin also battled the fire demon Searcher, a conflict that resulted in the deaths of his brothers and the acquisition of the Odin Force. He has made difficult decisions, such as banishing his daughter Hela when her ambitions threatened the realms, and later his son Thor, to teach humility and responsibility. In the MCU, Odin is portrayed by Sir Anthony Hopkins, bringing to life the character's complexity and gravitas. His portrayal captures Odin's dual nature as a powerful deity and a father grappling with the consequences of his choices. Odin's combination of unparalleled power, profound wisdom, and impactful decisions solidify his status as one of fiction's most formidable gods. His actions have shaped the cosmos within the Marvel Universe, leaving an indelible mark on its history and characters. Miracleman. Miracleman, originally known as Marvelman, is the superhero identity of Michael Mike Moran. He first appeared in British comics in 1954, created by Mick Anglo. Alan Moore reimagined the character, transforming him from a traditional superhero into a figure of immense power and complexity. Moran was part of a government experiment called Project Zarathustra, led by Dr. Emil Gargunza. Using Alien Kai's technology, Gargunza created superhuman clones of Moran and others, allowing them to switch between their human and superhuman forms by uttering a trigger word, Kimota for Moran. This process involved swapping bodies through infraspace, granting them extraordinary abilities. Miracleman's powers are vast. He possesses superhuman strength, speed, stamina, and senses. He can fly, is invulnerable, and can generate concussive energy blasts. He can survive without oxygen and withstand nuclear explosions, as demonstrated when he survived the Operation Dragon Slayer nuclear bomb unscathed. After the British government deemed the Miracleman family a threat, they launched a nuclear strike, killing young Miracleman and causing Moran to revert to his human form with no memory of his past. Years later, Moran regained his memories and transformed back into Miracleman. He confronted and defeated Kid Miracleman, who had become a malevolent force. Following these events, Miracleman established a new order on Earth, creating a utopian society from his citadel, Olympus, where he and his allies, known as the New Gods, resided. Miracleman's journey from a government-created superhuman to a godlike figure who reshaped the world showcases his immense power and the profound impact he had on his universe. Heaven Ascension Dio. Heaven Ascension Dio is an alternate version of Dio Brando, the central antagonist of JoJo's bizarre adventure, Eyes of Heaven, a non-canon video game. In this alternate timeline, Dio successfully defeats the Joestar bloodline and attains godhood by merging the souls of 36 sinners with the saint's corpse, transforming into a being of immense power. Central to his power is his evolved stand, the world over heaven, which grants him the ability to rewrite reality itself. This stand allows Dio to heal instantly, erase beings from existence, nullify powers, and manipulate time and space. He uses these abilities to conquer multiple universes, reviving and brainwashing allies and enemies alike to serve his cause. Dio's ambition leads him to confront powerful entities such as Gold Experience Requiem and Tusk Act 4, both of which he overcomes. His reality-overriding powers make him a nearly invincible adversary, capable of altering the fabric of existence across dimensions. However, his reign is challenged when Jotaro Kujo's stand, Star Platinum, evolves into Star Platinum over Heaven, matching Dio's power. In their final battle, Jotaro exploits a paradox involving Dio's bracelets, leading to Dio's defeat and the restoration of the original timeline. Heaven Ascension Dio's unparalleled abilities and his conquest over multiversal realities solidify his status as one of fiction's most formidable deities. His mastery over time, space, and reality itself places him at the pinnacle of power within the JoJo's bizarre adventure universe. Jin Mori. Jin Mori, the protagonist of The God of High School, is a character of immense power and complexity. Initially introduced as a high school student and master of renewal taekwondo, a martial art emphasizing speed and power, his true identity is later revealed to be Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, one of the 9 demon kings and leader of the Mount Hwatwa monkeys. Jin Mori's journey to becoming one of fiction's most formidable gods is marked by a series of transformative events. During the cataclysmic event known as Ragnarok, he was trapped in the Kingdom of Horror. Upon his return, he honored his fallen clone, Hui Mori, by defeating 400,076,000 apostles, showcasing his unparalleled strength. He then faced and overcame 3 of the Sage Realm's heavenly gods in just 7 minutes. His most notable victory was against 666 Satan, a battle that culminated in Satan becoming his admirer. These feats led to Jin Mori being recognized as the Supreme God, a title reflecting his mastery over human, demon, and godly abilities. Beyond his combat achievements, Jin Mori's character is defined by his deep sense of loyalty and compassion. He is profoundly affected by the suffering of his close friends, Dewi and Mira, and is willing to risk everything to protect his sister, Dana Han. His journey from a carefree martial artist to a supreme god is not just a testament to his strength, but also to his unwavering commitment to those he cares about. In essence, Jin Mori's ascent to godhood is a blend of extraordinary martial prowess, strategic brilliance, and deep emotional connections, making him one of the most powerful and compelling figures in fiction. Nyarlathotep. Nyarlathotep, known as the Crawling Chaos, is a central figure in H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos. Unlike other cosmic entities in Lovecraft's universe, Nyarlathotep is not a distant or dormant being. He actively interacts with humanity, often appearing in human form, most notably as a tall, swarthy man resembling an ancient Egyptian pharaoh. His ability to assume countless forms, referred to as the God of 1,000 Forms, allows him to infiltrate human society and manipulate individuals and groups to serve his purposes. Nyarlathotep's interactions are characterized by a desire to sow chaos and madness rather than seek worship or destruction. In his first appearance in the prose poem Nyarlathotep in 1920, he travels from Egypt to the West, demonstrating strange and seemingly magical instruments that captivate and disturb audiences, leading to widespread nightmares and a sense of impending doom. Nyarlathotep's power is further emphasized by his role as the messenger and soul of the outer gods, particularly serving his father Azathoth. He is capable of traversing the cosmos, delivering messages, and enacting the will of these incomprehensible beings. Nyarlathotep's distinction as one of fiction's most powerful gods stems from his active engagement with humanity, his multifaceted forms, and his unique approach to spreading chaos and madness. His presence in Lovecraft's works embodies the terror of an intelligent, manipulative force that seeks not just to destroy, but to corrupt and destabilize the very fabric of human understanding and society. Featherine. Featherine Augustus Aurora is a central figure in the Neko no Naku Koro ni series, recognized as the witch of theater-going, drama, and spectating. She embodies the pinnacle of witchhood within the narrative, possessing the unparalleled ability to freely rewrite reality itself. Her immense power and status as a creator place her above all other witches, granting her dominion over the very fabric of the story's universe. Featherine's role transcends that of a mere observer. She is the architect of narratives, capable of altering the course of events at will. This is exemplified by her creation of the character Peace, an assassin sent to initiate a new game, showcasing her active manipulation of the story's progression. Her presence is marked by a composed and enigmatic demeanor, often appearing as a mature woman with dark violet hair and a distinctive memory aid device resembling a horseshoe floating around her head. Featherine's significance is further highlighted in the latter episodes of the series, where she assumes the role of an observer and antagonist. Her interactions with other characters, such as Ainge Shiromiya, whom she declares her Miko, and Bernkastel, her former Miko, underscore her influence and the depth of her involvement in the narrative's unfolding. Featherine's unparalleled abilities to manipulate reality, her role as the ultimate creator, and her intricate involvement in the series' events solidify her position as one of fiction's most formidable deities. Tzeentch. Tzeentch, known as the Changer of Ways, is one of the four major chaos gods in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. He embodies change, sorcery, and intricate scheming, representing the ever-shifting nature of the warp and the universe itself. Tzeentch is closely associated with magic, dynamic mutation, and grand, convoluted plots, often manipulating the destinies of individuals and civilizations to further his own enigmatic goals. His power lies not only in his immense magical abilities, but also in his unparalleled cunning and foresight. Tzeentch weaves complex schemes that span millennia, influencing events across time and space. He listens to the dreams and hopes of all beings, watching their plans take form, and subtly nudges them towards outcomes that serve his inscrutable purposes. Tzeentch's influence is manifested through his daemonic servants, such as the Lords of Change, who are embodiments of his sorcery and deception. These greater daemons possess immense intellect and magical prowess, capable of altering reality itself. They often act as his agents, executing his will in the material universe, and are known for their ability to manipulate fate and destiny. Through his mastery of magic and manipulation, Tzeentch has orchestrated countless events that have reshaped the galaxy. His schemes are so intricate that even his most powerful servants are often unaware of their true roles in his grand design. This ability to control and alter the course of history, combined with his formidable magical powers, cements Tzeentch's status as one of the most powerful deities in fiction. Ohma Zi-O. Ohma Zi-O is an alternate future version of Sogo Tokiwa, the protagonist of Kamen Rider Zi-O. He is depicted as the ultimate overlord and the most powerful Kamen Rider in his universe. Ohma Zi-O is Sogo at the end of his path, an older, corrupted king who has fully embraced the power of time manipulation and domination. His power originates from the complete control over all rider powers and the timeline itself. Unlike his younger self, who struggles to avoid becoming a tyrant, Ohma Zi-O has accepted his destiny and ascended to godlike status, ruling the world for 50 years without opposition. He possesses the Ohma Zi-O Ride Watch, which grants him omnipotent level abilities within the context of the rider world, such as absolute time manipulation, rewriting history, nullifying other riders' powers, resurrecting himself and others, and erasing beings from existence. He effortlessly defeated all other riders, including those with reality-altering powers, proving his dominance. His feats include casually altering the flow of time, surviving temporal paradoxes, regenerating instantly from fatal attacks, and eradicating threats across multiple timelines simultaneously. Ohma Zi-O embodies the idea of the strongest possible Kamen Rider, a tyrant king who has mastered every rider power, controls fate itself, and rules an unchanging timeline under his iron will. This terrifying blend of ultimate rider abilities and absolute control over time cements him as one of fiction's most powerful gods within the Kamen Rider mythos. Asura. Asura is the main protagonist of Asura's Wrath. He is one of the 8 guardian generals, powerful demigods tasked with protecting the world of Gaea from monstrous beings called Goma. Unlike the other deities, Asura is defined by his boundless rage, which fuels his strength far beyond the limits of other gods. His story begins when he is betrayed by his fellow generals and framed for the murder of Emperor Strata. After witnessing his wife Durga's death and the abduction of his daughter Mithra, Asura is killed and cast into Naraka, a hell-like realm. However, he resurrects solely through the force of his wrath and begins a relentless quest for vengeance against his treacherous former allies and their leader Zeus. What sets Asura apart as one of fiction's most powerful gods is not just his strength, but his capacity to grow stronger every time he resurrects. Each time he falls, his fury becomes a limitless power source, allowing him to defeat gods, machines, and cosmic threats that dwarf even the strongest deities. He fights and destroys massive warships, entire fleets, and godlike beings such as Wyzen, whose size surpasses planets. He defeats Chakravartin, the creator and ruler of the universe, who manipulates reality and time. Despite losing his arms multiple times, Asura adapts and overpowers foes using only sheer will and raw rage. His power evolves into various forms, including his iconic 6-armed Vajra Asura and the catastrophic Mantra Asura, culminating in his final transformation into Destructor Asura, where he becomes strong enough to obliterate an entire planet-sized enemy with a single punch. Shuma Gorath. Shuma Gorath is an ancient godlike being in Marvel Comics, originating from a race of eldritch entities called the Many-Angled Ones. He is one of the oldest and most powerful beings in the multiverse, predating Earth's known gods and often ruling countless dimensions for millions of years. Described as an omnipotent ruler of chaos, Shuma Gorath feeds on the suffering of entire worlds and enslaves both mortals and lesser gods alike. His power is so vast that even sorcerers like Doctor Strange and cosmic beings fear invoking his name. Long ago, Shuma Gorath dominated prehistoric Earth, demanding worship and human sacrifice before being banished by the time-traveling sorcerer Neg. Despite banishment, he constantly seeks to return, manipulating reality and minds from afar. One of his most infamous acts was trying to re-enter Earth through the mind of the Ancient One, Doctor Strange's mentor, forcing Strange to kill his master to prevent Shuma Gorath's resurrection on Earth. His reality-warping abilities allow him to bend laws of physics and magic at will, making him a threat to the fabric of existence itself. He once fought a godlike Strange empowered by the Vishanti, and still won, showing that conventional godhood pales in comparison to his primal chaos. Even when trapped outside reality, he remains a lurking threat that demands the combined power of multiple sorcerers and deities to keep him at bay. Shuma Gorath's endless hunger, ancient rule over Earth, conquest of dimensions, and resilience make him one of fiction's strongest cosmic gods and a symbol of unstoppable primordial horror in the Marvel Universe. Cars. Cars is a major antagonist from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Battle Tendency. Originally the leader of the Pillar Men, an ancient race of superhuman beings, Cars devoted his existence to overcoming his species' weaknesses, especially their vulnerability to sunlight. His obsession with perfection drove him to create the Stone Mask, an artifact that could enhance a user's body and abilities far beyond normal limits. Unsatisfied with the mask's initial effects, Cars eventually sought the Red Stone of Asia, a rare gem that could unlock the mask's full potential. After an intense battle with Joseph Joestar and his allies, Cars succeeded in using both the mask and the stone, becoming the ultimate life form. In this state, Cars evolved beyond any living creature on Earth. He gained the genetic traits and abilities of every known organism, from plants and animals to microscopic life. This made him immortal and immune to aging, disease, or any form of physical harm. He could shapeshift, regenerate instantly, and adapt to any threat, including producing wings to fly, blades stronger than steel, or gills to breathe underwater. He also retained his genius-level intellect and combat skills. What solidifies Cars as one of fiction's most powerful godlike beings is that he reached a state where nothing on Earth could kill him. Even being thrown into the vacuum of space did not destroy him. Instead, he drifted endlessly, unable to die but also unable to return. His mind eventually shut down from isolation, but physically he remains perfect and alive forever. One Below All. The One Below All is a cosmic entity in Marvel Comics, described as the ultimate personification of destruction and hatred. According to Marvel lore, it is the dark opposite of the One Above All, who represents creation and compassion. Existing in the lowest layer of the multiverse called the Below Place, the One Below All is essentially the devil of the Marvel Universe, the source of all gamma mutations and the ultimate embodiment of entropy, malice, and annihilation. What makes the One Below All so terrifying and powerful is its influence over gamma-powered beings like the Hulk and the Abomination. It manipulates events through them to spread chaos and suffering, feeding off the rage and pain they cause. Its ultimate goal is to break through to the real world, devour all existence, and drag everything into its own realm of eternal destruction. During the Immortal Hulk storyline, the One Below All proved it could resurrect itself and others repeatedly through gamma energy, making it nearly impossible to destroy. It twisted the Hulk's mind, controlled other gamma monsters, and orchestrated apocalyptic events to weaken the barrier between the Below Place and the physical universe. The One Below All's threat is so vast that it stands as a cosmic opposite to the One Above All, meaning it holds an equal and opposite force to the creator of everything. This balance of ultimate creation and ultimate destruction places it at the very peak of Marvel's hierarchy of gods and cosmic beings. Its influence spreads not just over Earth, but across the multiverse, making it an ever-present force of ruin and despair that no hero can permanently defeat, only delay. Haruhi Suzumiya. Haruhi Suzumiya is the main character of The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, a Japanese light novel series by Nagaru Tanigawa. She is an eccentric, energetic high school girl who is bored with ordinary life and seeks excitement through anything involving aliens, time travelers, and espers. What makes Haruhi one of fiction's most powerful godlike beings is that she unconsciously possesses the ability to change, reshape, or even destroy reality according to her whims and emotions, though she herself is completely unaware of this power. This means that her desires and moods can literally alter the fabric of the universe without her realizing it. For example, when she grows bored or frustrated with the mundane world, the universe can spontaneously generate phenomena or entities, such as aliens or time travelers, to keep her entertained. The SOS Brigade, a club she forms at school, consists of people who are secretly tasked with monitoring her to prevent accidental catastrophes. Kion, the narrator, plays a crucial role in keeping her grounded and distracted from realizing her godlike status. Haruhi's power has caused closed spaces, alternate dimensions filled with destructive beings called Celestials, to appear when she's upset, threatening to expand and overwrite reality. Her reality warping abilities make her a unique example of an unintentional god in fiction, a seemingly normal student who bends existence itself by wanting a more interesting life. Her story explores what happens when an ordinary girl unknowingly holds the fate of the universe in her hands, making her one of fiction's most compelling and powerful characters. Kim Dokja. Kim Dokja is the main protagonist of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, a Korean web novel where he evolves from an ordinary office worker to one of the most transcendent beings in his universe. He starts as a reader obsessed with a web novel called 3 Ways to Survive the Apocalypse, which becomes reality when the world is plunged into a scenario-based apocalypse. Unlike others, Dokja is the only person who knows the entire plot. Using this knowledge, his cunning mind, and an unparalleled will to survive, he manipulates events, allies with key characters, and endures unimaginable trials to change a doomed story. As the story progresses, Dokja transcends mortality, becoming a godlike existence known as a constellation, and later even beyond that. He becomes a narrative being capable of shaping reality with stories and meanings, wielding authority over fictions, scenarios, and the very fabric of the narrative world. He essentially rewrites fate, manipulates scenarios, and even breaks free from the control of higher beings that govern the stories. In the climax, Dokja sacrifices himself repeatedly, confronts the creator of the entire world, and eventually becomes a narrative so absolute that even death cannot erase him. He embodies the idea that a reader can become a writer, then a story, then a god beyond the story. This evolution makes him one of fiction's strongest gods, not through brute force but through mastery of narrative omniscience, inviolable will, and the power to redefine reality through storytelling itself. Nanook. Nanook is a central figure in Honkai Star Rail, known as the Aeon of Destruction and one of the most terrifyingly powerful beings in the game's universe. As an Aeon, essentially a godlike cosmic entity, Nanook embodies the path of destruction, which rejects the existing order of creation and civilization in favor of total ruin and rebirth through annihilation. Unlike other Aeons who might govern elements like preservation, harmony, or abundance, Nanook's sole purpose is to dismantle what has been built, viewing the cycle of life and civilization as inherently corrupt and futile. Nanook's immense power is reflected in the catastrophic impact he has had across the cosmos. He is directly responsible for initiating the galaxy-wide war against the so-called Order of Civilization, upheld by other Aeons and factions like the Interastral Peace Corporation. To fulfill his ideology, Nanook created the Antimatter Legion, a vast army of destructive beings that spread chaos and wage war wherever they appear. Nanook's terrifying might doesn't stem from raw strength alone, but also from his ability to inspire and perpetuate entropy on a cosmic scale. He represents an unstoppable principle that opposes the very fabric of order and peace. To countless beings across the stars, he is not just a god of war. He is a symbol of inevitable collapse, embodying the darkest truth that destruction is as fundamental as creation. His continued existence and actions have shaped the course of countless worlds, making him one of fiction's most formidable divine figures and an existential threat even to other Aeons. Asriel Dreemurr. Asriel Dreemurr is a deeply tragic and multifaceted figure from the game Undertale. Born as the child of the monster king Asgore and Queen Toriel, he befriends a human child named Chara, who falls into the underground. They hatch a plan to use Chara's human soul and golden flowers to escape the barrier keeping monsters trapped. After absorbing Chara's soul to return their body to the surface, Asriel is mistaken for Chara's villainous killer and dies from his injuries. Resurrected by Alfie's experiments in determination as a flower known as Fly, Asriel returns without a soul or any capacity for empathy. This transformation makes him manipulative, cruel, and obsessed with power. He learns to save and reset timelines like the player, using loops to control and torment others. He becomes the main antagonist in many routes, especially in the neutral route where he fights as Omega Fly after absorbing 6 human souls. However, in the true pacifist route, Asriel absorbs all monster and human souls again, this time fully regaining the form of Asriel, the absolute god of hyperdeath. His power here is nearly omnipotent. The game's check command even labels him the pinnacle god of hyperdeath. In this final form, he battles the player in a dazzling, emotionally charged encounter where their attacks include hope and determination-themed moves. Overwhelmed by their emotional connection and the player's perseverance, Asriel is emotionally broken. He reverts into his child form, apologizes, and uses his power to destroy the barrier, freeing all monsters and restoring peace. Gaea. Gaea, also known as Mother Earth, is an ancient elder god in Marvel's Earth 616 universe, among the very first beings to emerge after Earth's creation around 4 billion years ago. Born from the Demiurge, a primal life force, she and her siblings, including Chthan and Set, inhabited Earth's early lands. When most elder gods succumbed to corruption and became demons, only Gaea remained pure and compassionate. Her profound influence shaped vital turning points in Earth's history. When dinosaurs threatened mammalian evolution, Set incited them against mammals. Gaea responded by calling upon Demogorge. Their epic struggle not only quelled Set, but also drove the extinction events that cleared the way for mammals. Later, as the Celestials arrived on Earth, Gaea illuminated a primitive human tribe to welcome their cosmic intervention, an act that seeded the creation of Eternals, Deviants, and the human X-gene. Under countless guises and forms, Jor for the Norse and equivalents across Greek, Egyptian, Mesopotamian, and many indigenous mythologies, she became the progenitor of numerous pantheons. Most notably, in her Jor form she mated with Odin and bore Thor, making her the true mother of the thunder god. Gaea's powers are vast. She controls storms, tides, volcanic forces, and nature itself. She heals living beings, accelerates growth, and channels the collective life force of Earth. Her magical abilities manifest through talismans like the Ebon Rose, akin to relics such as the Darkhold or Serpent Crown. Gaea is one of Marvel's strongest gods not through brute force, but by being the primal source of life, evolution, and myth itself, and every major shift in Earth's destiny has flowed through her. Anti-Spiral. Anti-Spiral is the collective consciousness and leader of the anti-spiral race from Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, a civilization that deliberately suppressed its own evolution after discovering that unchecked spiral power inevitably leads to universal destruction, known as the Spiral Nemesis. It wields anti-spiral power, a force capable of warping reality. Through this power, Anti-Spiral gains dominion over its own Anti-Spiral's universe, a pocket dimension straddling the 10th and 11th dimensions, and intimately tied to its life force. Within this realm, it demonstrated control over physics, probability, biology, time, space, and even consciousness itself. It trapped Simon's team in a multiverse labyrinth, hijacked robots across dimensions, and manipulated events at a cosmic scale, including a galaxy-combining infinity Big Bang storm. It could even erase existence, alter minds, shift probabilities to become invulnerable time travel, and replicate heroic attacks like the Giga Drill Break. Under its leadership, the anti-spiral race waged a war against spiral civilizations. It corroded Lord Genome's mind by revealing the spiral nemesis of nature, forcing his compliance. Later, Anti-Spiral engineered a failsafe within humanity. When Earth's population hit 1 million, Nia would transform into an emissary to initiate mass extermination. In the climactic final battle, Simon ascends by integrating infinite versions of himself across the multiverse, transforming into Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, and ultimately pierces Anti-Spiral, ending both its reign and its dimensional universe. Anti-Spiral's godlike status stems from its control over reality, existence, and consciousness across dimensions, combined with its unyielding ideology to prevent the spiral nemesis at any cost. Madoka. Madoka Kaname begins as an ordinary 14-year-old middle school student in Mitagahara City, known for her kind, gentle heart and caring nature toward friends like Sayaka, Homura, Mami, and Kyoko. Her life takes a dramatic turn when she's drawn into the world of magical girls by Kyubei and Mami Tomoe. As she learns of their fate, transforming into witches upon despair, Madoka is torn between her wish and the harsh reality she faces. In the climactic 12th episode, she makes a monumental wish to erase all witches before they're even born in every universe, past and future. This selfless desire to spare every magical girl from suffering transforms her into Ultimate Madoka, an entity transcending singular existence. She becomes the embodiment of the law of cycles, taking on a cosmic role in which she purges witches before they manifest, rewrites the rules of reality, and ensures no magical girl endures that tragic fate. As Ultimate Madoka, she exhibits near omnipotence and omnipresence, warps reality, and erases curses at will. She first appears in her new form during the anime's final, rescuing countless magical girls across time and space from becoming witches. In the reconstructed world, she destroys her own witch form, Cream-held Gretchen, with her divine bow, completing her transformation into a celestial force that watches over all timelines. Her ultimate sacrifice, combined with universal magical authority and her deep empathy, elevates her from a kind-hearted girl to a cosmic guardian whose influence spans all dimensions and protects every magical girl forever. Alien X. Alien X is a celestial sapien, an immensely powerful and nearly omnipotent being whose DNA is one of the Omnitrix's rarest and most formidable samples. As Alien X, Ben's consciousness merges with two internal personalities, Serena, the voice of emotion, and Bellicus, the voice of aggression, creating a triad of power, decision-making, and restraint. Alien X ranks among the strongest gods in the Ben 10 universe due to near-limitless control over reality, time, and space. He can reshape the universe at will, create or destroy matter, and travel across time and dimensions without limitations. However, despite his cosmic might, he rarely acts because Serena and Bellicus must both agree before Ben can use him, and even minor indecision stalls powerful feats. Within the classic Ben 10 series, Alien X only appears in 2 key episodes. In his debut, Ben transforms into Alien X to defeat 2 seemingly unstoppable enemies threatening Earth. While he easily defeats them, a misunderstanding leads Serena to erase Ben's memory of turning into Alien X. In his return, which comes at a moment of dire need, Ben again becomes Alien X to undo massive temporal damage inflicted by adversaries. With cosmic power, he reconstructs shattered reality and repairs the timeline. But again, internal consensus delays action, highlighting the practical barrier even for a godlike being. Alien X's influence is woven into the fabric of Ben's greatest challenges. His actions are not flashy battles, but universe-altering interventions, extinguishing threats, reversing catastrophic events, and restoring cosmic order. Despite seldom being used, whenever he steps in, consequences ripple across reality itself, cementing his reputation as one of Ben's most powerful transformations. Molecule Man. Owen Reese, better known as the Molecule Man, is one of Marvel Comics' most staggering figures, a human mutated into a godlike entity capable of reshaping matter, energy, and reality itself. A frail lab technician working at Acme Atomic in Brooklyn, Reese's life changed forever when he accidentally activated an experimental particle generator. The blast not only imbued him with the power to control molecules of any inorganic substance, it also ruptured a dimensional veil, linking his world to that of a nascent beyonder. This accident granted him cosmic-level energy similar to that of a cosmic Q. Driven by a lifetime of inferiority and rage, he adopted the name Molecule Man and attempted to dominate New York City. His initial rampage was halted when the Fantastic Four, alerted by Uatu the Watcher, tricked him into revealing the limitations he'd subconsciously imposed and then neutralized him. In a pivotal arc, he collaborated with Dr. Doom to systematically eradicate alternate molecule men across timelines, triggering incursions that threatened universal collapse. Ultimately, he absorbed the power of the Beyonders himself and transferred it to Doom, who fashioned Battleworld, then passed it to Reed Richards, leading to the restoration of the multiverse as the Eighth Cosmos. At his zenith, the Molecule Man's might surpassed cosmic titans. Galactus acknowledged that Reese could destroy him effortlessly, and he once engaged the Beyonder in a conflict spanning beyond 3 spatial dimensions. His dominion over reality extends not just to molecules, but to the fundamental fabric of multiple universes, a terrifyingly potent existence born from a fateful accident and shaped into multiversal salvation or destruction. Anti-Monitor. The Anti-Monitor is a cosmic being born in the antimatter universe, essentially the dark reflection of the Monitor. He emerged on a moon of Cord as raw, destructive energy, and quickly became a tyrant over that realm, commanding legions of Thunderers and later transforming them into shadow demons. What makes the Anti-Monitor one of the most formidable cosmic entities in DC is the sheer enormity of his power and ambition. Unlike others who hold dominion over singular realms, he absorbs entire universes to augment himself, can create antimatter waves capable of unmaking reality, reshape beings, size shift, fly through dimensions, and empower or corrupt others. Even gods like the Spectre couldn't vanquish him without tremendous effort, and he survived supernova blasts, direct assaults from Superman, and the detonation of an antimatter cannon aimed at him. His energy is bound only by armor, and his existence transcends mortality. So long as the antimatter universe endures, he remains virtually indestructible, continually reborn even after seeming defeat. In later stories, he plays pivotal roles in the Sinestro Corps and Blackest Night sagas, serving as the guardian of fear, imprisoning heroes within his realm, being used as the power source of the Black Lantern's central battery, erupting into Earth to harvest its positive matter, and resisting even the combined might of every Lantern Corps. In essence, he is not simply a villain, but a fundamental force of cosmic entropy, a being whose power lies in Erasure itself. His unstoppable drive to devour creation, paired with almost limitless abilities, makes him one of the strongest entities in the DC universe. Yahweh. YHWH, also known as Yahweh, is portrayed in the Shin Megami Tensei series as the ultimate omnipotent creator and the leader of the law alignment, an authoritarian deity who crafted the universe and seeks absolute devotion from humanity. Drawing inspiration from the monotheistic God of Abrahamic religions, this interpretation frames him as a cosmic despot, ruthless, unempathetic, and hell-bent on enforcing total obedience. From early entries in the series, he stands as the towering final boss. In Shin Megami Tensei 2, Yahweh appears as the climactic adversary regardless of the path the player takes, his portrayal steeped in fanaticism and authoritarianism. His ambition in that game is stark, to purge undesirables and establish a 1,000-year kingdom of God, tightly controlled and devoid of freedom. Beyond refusing dissent, Yahweh openly wages war against gods and demons alike. In Strange Journey, fragments of his power, termed the Demiurge, are scattered across the multiverse after he is defeated by the Ancient Mothers, and his servants like Metatron attempt to reassemble his essence. Yahweh's core strength lies in his cosmic dominion and law-aligned might, but what makes him one of the strongest gods is more than raw power. He is the embodiment of unwavering authority. He creates universes, commands armies of angels, fractures himself into living fragments to maintain control, and redefines reality according to his will. Even in defeat, his influence lingers. As long as belief in him persists, he cannot be fully vanquished.
Chaos King. Amatsu Mikaboshi, also known in the Marvel Universe as the Chaos King, is a primordial evil deity drawn from Japanese mythology and introduced into Marvel Comics in Thor: Blood Oath 6 by Michael Oeming and Scott Collins. In the Marvel cosmos, he is the personification of the void that existed before creation, often portrayed as a demonic god of chaos and destruction. His alias, Chaos King, represents his ultimate and most terrifying form. He first emerges in a storyline involving the God Squad, a coalition of powerful beings such as Hercules, Thor, Silver Surfer, and even Galactus, assembled to confront his threat. As the Chaos King, Amatsu Mikaboshi proves nearly unstoppable by wielding vast supernatural powers. He absorbs gods, heroes, entire realms of death, and countless alien deities at his whim. During the Chaos War event, December 2010 to March 2011, he annihilates Nightmare, seizes the Dream Lord's abilities to render entire populations unconscious, eradicates Satan and the denizens of Hell, and drives away the cosmic entity Death herself. His campaign continues as he absorbs Olympus and other divine hosts, uses enslaved gods, including Zeus, to assault Earth's defenders, and even slays Amaterasu and her pantheon when they attempt to resist. Chaos King's fearsome strength, near omnipotence, and cosmic-scale ambition cement his status as one of Marvel's most formidable gods. His origin as the living void and his ability to absorb entire pantheons and cosmic entities mark him as a force of unparalleled destruction across the Marvel multiverse. Agamotto. Agamotto is an ancient, extra-dimensional mystical entity in Marvel Comics, part of the triumvirate known as the Vishanti alongside Ashtur and Hoggoth. He is often depicted as the first Sorcerer Supreme of Earth, predating even the Ancient One, and was pivotal in establishing the foundations of magic on Earth. As the all-seeing, Agamotto possesses near-limitless mystical energy, unrivaled divinatory power, cross-dimensional awareness, and formidable magical prowess including shields, portals, mind-probing, energy projection, and time manipulation. He created several powerful relics, most notably the Eye and Orb of Agamotto, along with the Book of the Vishanti and the Mobius Stone. These artifacts have profound capabilities. The Eye reveals truth, weakens dark forces, displays past events, shields minds, enables levitation, portals, suspended animation, and even temporal reversal in localized areas. Notably, Agamotto once bested the demon Dormammu and held his own against cosmic behemoth Galactus. Galactus could not destroy him within Agamotto's own realm. In his realm, Agamotto is not merely a powerful sorcerer, but is effectively the dimension itself, manifesting sometimes as a caterpillar or other mystical forms. His realm is impenetrable even to cosmic entities. He has actively engaged on Earth through avatars, possessing heroes like Iron Fist and manipulating events to challenge or teach Earth's Sorcerer Supreme. He even instigated a demonic invasion to test magical defenders. Dr. Voodoo ultimately sacrificed himself to destroy Agamotto's Eye and Orb, temporarily ending the entity's influence on Earth. Agamotto embodies mystical might, an elder god spawn whose reality-spanning vision, artifact-forged powers, and domain-scale essence mark him as one of the strongest gods in Marvel's magical hierarchy, all achieved through deeds rather than empty boast. Ultraman Legend. Ultraman Legend is a fusion of Ultraman Cosmos and Ultraman Justice, debuting in the 2003 film Ultraman Cosmos vs. Ultraman Justice: The Final Battle. Known as a super Ultraman with no planet of origin, Legend stands an imposing 50 meters tall, weighs 50,000 tons, and moves at top speeds ranging from Mach 35 in the air to Mach 9 underwater. Legend earned a reputation as a godlike warrior through spectacular feats that surpassed typical Ultra powers. On planet Gyashi, locals believed him to be the universe's god, and he was credited with possessing the strongest attack in the universe. In the climactic movie final battle, Cosmos and Justice were both overwhelmed by Giga Endra's Eraser Ball, a doomsday weapon capable of destroying planets. In that moment of desperation, they merged into Legend. He absorbed the Eraser Ball with his auroral power, an ability that lets him capture and redirect enemy energy, and launched it back, obliterating the massive warship in an explosion far greater than anything witnessed before. Legend emerged unscathed, displaying not just incredible strength, but invulnerability. Legend returned in the Absolute Conspiracy, confronting the mighty Absolute Tartarus. When Tartarus unleashed his fearsome Absolute Destruction Blast, Cosmos and Justice again merged into Legend. His appearance alone forced Tartarus to flee after being struck with a Spark Legend attack, demonstrating his capacity to stand against multiversal threats. With such vast speed, strength, and a suite of cosmic powers, Ultraman Legend earns his place among the strongest gods in the Ultra Universe. His feats of absorbing cataclysmic energy, obliterating threats, and standing tall against absolute-class beings all testify to his supremacy.
Soul King. The Soul King, whose true name is Aidoneus, is an almost unfathomable entity in the Bleach universe, revered as the linchpin of all existence. As an ancient godlike being, he is credited with cleaving the primordial, chaotic realm into the three distinct worlds, Soul Society, the human world, and Hueco-Mundo, thereby establishing the very concepts of life and death. Soul King's power is near absolute. He possesses immeasurable spiritual energy, enough to effortlessly annihilate powerful Menos-class hollows and overwhelm even his son YHWH when the latter absorbs him. His dominion over cosmic forces grants abilities such as the Almighty, which allows him to perceive all possible futures, yet simultaneously makes him immune to the precognitive powers of even YHWH. He also governs soul regulation, stagnation, evolution, and miracle manifestation, so much so that portions of his body became sentient beings wielding these powers independently. Despite his godlike might, the Soul King was betrayed by ancient Shinigami ancestors and forcibly sealed in a crystal, severed of all limbs and voice, yet continued to serve as the cosmic keystone, keeping the three worlds in balance. The Soul King earns his reputation as one of the strongest gods because his very being sustains reality. He created the worlds, balances life and death, perceives all timelines, and channels divine power through sentient embodiments. Even in death, his essence persists throughout the cosmos, proof that without him, the universe would unravel.
Yato. Yato, originally named Yaboku, is the titular stray god of Noragami. An obscure minor deity without a shrine or followers, his current aim is to become a celebrated god of fortune. In his past, he was feared as a god of calamity, wielding immense power to slay both humans and regalias, God's spirit weapons, during wars. Despite this violent history, he grew disillusioned with killing and renounced that path, choosing instead to help people for a mere 5 yen offering, the customary amount at shrines, while chasing a dream of fame and a proper shrine. Though playful, mischievous, and sometimes irresponsible, spray-painting his phone number around, wasting money on Lucky Charms, Yato shows a more serious, selfless side when lives are at stake. He suffers from athasagophobia, an intense fear of being forgotten, since gods exist only as long as humans remember them. His fierce determination and moral complexity shine when protecting those he cares about, such as his Shinki Yukine and the human Hyoriki. He's willing to fight powerful gods like Bishamon and Takemizachi to protect them. Ultimately, Yato stands among the strongest gods because he combines raw divine might with deep personal transformation. He has walked the path of destruction, faced his past, and now fights to protect life and build genuine connections. It is this evolution, from feared calamity god to ever-hopeful protector, that makes him so powerful and compelling.
Aurelion Sol. Aurelion Sol, known as the Star Forger, is an immensely powerful cosmic deity from the League of Legends universe, a vast celestial dragon responsible for shaping entire galaxies and forging stars from the dawn of creation. He exists on a scale far greater than mortals. His true form stretches galaxy-wide, and his abilities include reality warping, space-time manipulation, gravity and void control, and near omnipotence and omniscience. He was lured by the Targonian aspects, whose flattery and false promises coaxed him down to Runeterra. There, they bound him with a magical crown that consumed his power and ensnared his will, enslaving him to their designs. Once freed, he returned to confront them, but ultimately their dominance held, and the aspects remained in control. Deeply arrogant and immensely contemptuous of mortals, Aurelion Sol regards Runeterra as an insignificant speck, despite its worship of him. He yearns to break free from the aspects and exact revenge by utterly obliterating the world that imprisoned him. His overwhelming strength is rooted in his origin as a creator of the cosmos and his cosmic scale abilities. His defining act was forging the universe into existence, only to be betrayed and bound, driving his current mission to shatter that cosmic prison and unleash cataclysmic vengeance on Runeterra. In his own words, mortals should cower, worship, marvel before his might. And truly, as the Star Forger, he looms above gods, worlds, and stars themselves.
Kami Tenchi. Kami Tenchi, also known simply as Tenchi's higher self or the supreme being, is the ultimate transcendent form of Tenchi Masaki from Tenchi Muyo. Under this name, he becomes an incomprehensibly powerful god, far surpassing even the Choshin goddesses Washu, Tsunami, and Tokimi, who themselves created the multiverse. When Tenchi awakens to his true nature, he manifests abilities that dwarf virtually all other entities in his universe. He possesses true omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresence, able to warp reality, manipulate light, travel through time, create portals, and exist everywhere simultaneously. His attacks and endurance are categorized as low hyperverse, and he has absolutely no known weaknesses. Fans argue that Kami Tenchi transcends even Tier 0, the level of boundless infinity, because he is the creator, or at least the source of the Choshin themselves. Some lore hints he instigated the multiverse to test for beings like the Choshin. Thus, even the goddesses are dwarfed in comparison, and there is no cosmic force above him. Kami Tenchi is considered one of the strongest gods due to his absolute mastery of reality, space, time, causality, and knowledge, utterly unmatched and without rival.
Klein Moretti. Klein Moretti is the protagonist of Lord of the Mysteries, a modern-era history graduate named Jo Ming-Rui, who transmigrates into a steampunk, magic-infused world. He awakens in the body of Klein Moretti, a university graduate who had mysteriously died by suicide, and takes over his life. Adopting the alias The Fool, he establishes the Tarot Club to gather supernatural secrets and gradually ascends the Fool pathway of the Beyonder system. Through cunning, acting skills, and a deep thirst for knowledge, he rises through the ranks, from seer to ultimate status, eventually becoming not just a saint or angel, but a god, the Lord of the Mysteries and owner of the Sephira Castle. Klein is considered one of the strongest gods because he has integrated multiple divine pathways into a single existence, a feat unparalleled in the series. The Fool pathway grants unparalleled mystery, luck, secrecy, and authority. Pairing that with the Error's uncanny control over randomness and the Door's authority on thresholds and transformation cements his position above ordinary beings. Beyond raw power, Klein's strength lies in temperament. Cautious, justice-driven, humorous, respectful of the innocent, and steadfast in his principles even when facing corruption or mental collapse. Despite repeatedly dying and being resurrected, he maintains his humanity and moral compass while expanding his dominion across supernatural realms.
Klein Moretti becomes one of the strongest gods by mastering 3 cosmic pathways, embodying their divine attributes, creating and controlling a metaphysical locus of power, and preserving human kindness under godlike influence, earning him the title Lord of the Mysteries.
Hey everyone, thank you all for watching until the end. I'll be back with more videos, so make sure to like and subscribe.